gather round, it's that time, let's unwind. With laughter in the air and good vibes intertwined, stories flow like the drinks under the moon's bright glow. In this podcast space, let the good times grow. Cheers to the nights we won't forget. With every word, let's raise a bet. Lost hope, and we're here to play. Sharing our laughter, night turns to day. With every sip, the stories unfold. In this circle of friends, let the joy be told.
What is this, or what is this, 3 or 4 times you've been on now?
3.
3? Yeah. You're just racking up them appearances so that when we get monetized, I have to pay you, huh?
Yeah. I'm just trying to take Derek's spot.
That ain't happening, brother. I told Derek the same thing, like, hey, I told Derek the other day, so hang on. Little inside baseball. I'm going to pull this up. We were talking about my son with baseball, and what's it called? Derek said that he was jealous. He only loved the Army, didn't have any hobbies, and then they said, "Thank you for your service, but you're broken. Bye." Now he's hobbyless and with zero passion outside of his family. I told him, you got a hobby, bro, the podcast. Now we just got to find you the time to do your hobby. And we kept talking about it and everything. And it got to where I said, I ain't letting you bail. I don't care how long it takes. You started this with me. Eventually, you're coming back. You don't get to quit.
Oh, Lord.
I'm holding him hostage. I'm going to fucking chain him to the desk or some shit.
Sounds like it.
Yep.
It's like a crazy wife that you want to leave, but she keeps fucking putting a gun to your head.
Yeah. All right. So, you had brought up something right before I hit record. And I'm intrigued because it seemed like you had a story to tell.
Well, I mean, I did say ghost stories for the night's topic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we ain't in Halloween, but
Well,
you already know I've got some fucked up stories.
I do have a plan for Halloween. I haven't told Derek about it yet, and I haven't told the other person without mentioning any names, keeping it kind of on the down low for now. The other people that I want to bring on for a Halloween special. But I have a plan.
You with a plan's kind of scary.
Hey, did I tell you what my plan was for Veterans Day?
No.
So, Derek's former Army, all right?
Okay.
Natalie was in the Air Force.
Okay.
I got a buddy that was a Marine.
Okay.
Derek has a buddy that was in the Navy.
Okay.
I told Derek for Veterans Day, let's get one person from all 4 major branches on and just let y'all swap stories,
That could be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, with me training and stuff, I've had National Guard, Army, Navy. Don't think I've had Air Force or Marine.
The only 2 military students I had when I was training was Derek and Brad. Army and Marine.
Okay.
Now, I did have a Cuban. And when I say Cuban, I mean he's from Cuba, was helping the Americans during all of that crap that went down, and then the Americans had to smuggle him over here
Oh.
because the Cubans wanted him dead.
Well, I mean, are we surprised?
No, no.
I'd be like a
Trudeau's dad
Russian
is a hell of
helping
a
Ukrainians,
do it.
or be like the Russians helping the Ukrainians
Yeah,
win the war.
Trudeau's dad is a fucking or was a fucking bastard.
Oh, okay.
You can't tell me Justin Trudeau is not Fidel Castro's son. Look at a picture of the two. They bear a striking resemblance to each other. And Trudeau's mom was in Cuba 9 months before he was born.
Hmm. Well, that could be interesting.
Can't tell me Justin Trudeau is not Fidel Castro's son. And then if you look at a picture of Trudeau's dad, he looks nothing like his dad.
Sounds like Trudeau's mama may have been casting something
Some
over in
Castros.
Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was smoking a little bit more than the cigars.
Smoking that old meat pipe.
Yeah. But anyway, you know me, I'm always down for some good ghost stories, so hit me with your pet shark.
Pet shark.
Yeah. That's how the song goes, right? Hit me with your pet shark.
No, sir. No. It's more like a hit me with your best shot.
Are you sure?
Um, Positive.
Oh no.
Actually, I'm 99.9% positive.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Telling you there's a very, very slim chance.
No, the whole hit me with your pet shark thing. There used to be a game show. I don't know, it still may exist, but it's called Don't Forget the Lyrics.
Oh.
And when the game show first came out, the way it works is like they'll play a song and you do karaoke with the song.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And there was a clip they played in the commercials, and it was the song "Hit Me with Your Best Shot," and they cut it off, and the woman just stands there and goes, "Hit me with your pet shark."
Oh, Lord.
And for some reason, you know that clip has always stuck with me.
Hmm.
So, anyway, ghost stories. We keep getting distracted.
Hey, it's your fault, not mine.
I deny everything.
Pleading the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Hey, guess what, motherfucker? We're on video, so it did happen.
Shit.
Uh, so what stories have I told you in the past?
Oh God. I mean, you could always go over some more, or some of the ones you've already told me, because like you know, let everybody else in on the joke. But
Oh, man, that ain't a joke.
oh, I
Scared the
know.
shit out of me.
Turn of phrase.
Okay, well, let's start. Um, Around age 13 ish.
Okay.
Now, this particular one didn't happen to me, but happened in the same house where most of my really screwed up ghost stories happened. So, We moved out of Gurdon, Arkansas, moved to Prescott, about 8 miles outside of town,
Pretty
out in
good
the country.
Mexican restaurant there.
It's not there anymore.
What?
The owners wouldn't renew the lease on the building,
Damn.
so he moved all his business to Texarkana.
That place had pretty good fajitas.
Oh, dude, it did. Had a really good food.
And,
And
and
let me
the
tell you something.
the best thing about it, you could get the truck in there.
You could, but it's best to just park across the street at the Loves and walk across.
True.
But he also couldn't handle habanero pepper either, that he said he could handle.
Oh, really?
So, but anyhow, I said moved outside of town and moved on into this. Let's see, it's technically a 3-bedroom house,
Mm-hmm.
but we used it like a 4-bedroom because it was big, like really big.
Yeah.
And so one night I'm in my dad's TV room that it was technically the dining room that they converted to a TV room off was which is what their bedroom partially was slash den.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, my stepsister Janet comes in, freaked the fuck out. And my stepmom's like, "Well, what's going on? Like, why are you freaked out?" She said,
I could tell you're getting nervous telling this.
oh yeah.
You're
Said,
kind of bouncing.
yeah. Said something come through and blew down every one of my pictures off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it's more like a picture board, but it was, let me back up just a little bit. So this picture board's yay big, maybe a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got bands that hold the pictures in place firmly. Nothing should be able to blow shit off that picture board at all. Something come through and blew off every one of those pictures. I didn't see it happen. I saw the pictures on the ground afterwards, but that's it.
Yeah.
So now, fast forward, she's down at her dad's and smack over, and I'm in the living room. My grandmother watched TV. So I need to get up and use the bathroom. Well, to go to the restroom in the house, you had to go through the dining room into the little hallway, and then in between my bedroom and her bedroom at the end of the hall was the bathroom. Well, her bedroom door is cracked, about yay much. Okay, don't know what the fuck it was. Her lights were out in that bedroom. Something darted, white. I mean, darted across that crack or through that crack. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I decided I didn't really need to use the bathroom for a while. Now this is the second instance in that bedroom. Okay. Now let's fast forward. She moves out. I move out of my little bedroom, and I move into her bedroom. Okay. Nothing happens for a long time. Then she moves back into my old bedroom, and I always lay down. Let me get this straight. I always lay down before I went to school. So I get up, eat breakfast, take about a 30, 45 minute nap. So My stepmom and my dad are out at the casino overnight. My stepsister, my stepbrother are there. They cook me breakfast. I eat breakfast. I go take a nap. I wake up. I still don't know if I was dreaming or I actually woke up and this actually happened. I don't know. I would say I was dreaming, but it still fucks with me. Um, so I wake up and I hear a baby crying in the house. I'm in my room, same sheets, same blankets, same setup, everything, perfect spitting image.
Yeah. I always said that a child's laughter
Uh
is
huh.
the best sound you can ever hear. Okay,
Yeah.
unless it's 3 a.m., you're home alone and you don't have a child.
Well, like I said, this is a baby crying.
Yeah.
So I know there ain't no babies in this house at all. So I sit up, and then my buddy John appears. I'm like, what the?
Appears like
Yeah, he just pops up. He's like there. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he doesn't really say anything. And then he walks toward the foot of my bed and disappears. Now at the foot of my bed, I had a computer desk or computer desk cubby thing where it's got like the shelf on top and there's an insert spot
mm,
where you put your monitor and everything. Well, I used it as a TV stand. So I couldn't see anything behind that desk. So I get up, go look for John, get to the foot of my bed, and I turn left because I have to go out the door, which is to my left. And right behind my TV stand is this horned figure, like little horns for hair, looking at me. Needless to say, freaked me out.
when you say little, was it like short, diminutive, or
I would say probably about my height,
your height now or then?
probably now.
Okay.
Because at that time I never grew a whole lot after like seventh grade. Like when I was in seventh grade, I think I was like
Gigantor.
5'6", and I'm like 5'7", 5'8" now.
Yeah.
So, um, it didn't talk to me, freaked me the fuck out, and I want to say I ran back to my bed. I don't really remember, but I remember waking up, and I refused to go back in that room for a week after that because I knew there was nothing that should have done that in that room.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched any scary movies, nothing. So I slept on the couch for a week. I didn't tell anybody for a little bit. Because my dad probably said, "Oh, you believe in all that ghost crap. That's why it's happening," type stuff. But like I said, I didn't go back and learn for a week, and for a while, nothing happened again. And from time to time, I think I would see like a shadow or something, but nothing ever messed with me. Truly, I just kind of learned to ignore it. Now we go to my stepbrother, who's staying with us, and this same in the house. He's sitting in the TV room. We're all away at that from the house at this point, so nobody's at home. He's in the my dad's TV room watching TV, sitting on the couch. And he tells us, because they had French doors that went into their bedroom, and one side stayed locked, one always was unlocked. But something walked by, like he didn't see it, opened the door wide enough for a person to go through, and close the door behind it. So
Time out there. Is your wife and daughter awake?
they're in the living room.
Oh, okay.
Why?
While you were telling that story, I heard something, and
Oh,
it sounded like voices, and I was like, "Is that his wife and daughter?" Or
yeah.
okay,
Um. So there's incident number 4. Now, this one was told to me by my father that come from my stepmother. I didn't find out about this until about 3 years ago. So one night, my dad's at work, stepmom's at home. It's nighttime, and apparently something was messing with her in a, how can I put it, a scary movie type of way.
okay.
In the
I
haunted house scary movie,
yeah, I kind of get
the
where
gist
you're.
what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Okay, and she wakes up after the, like she wakes up in the middle of it, and then it stops, and she calls for my dad. My dad's not home. She calls him. Where the fuck you at? Dad's like, I'm at work. She's like, no, you're not. You were just doing this. He's like, I'm at work. Here's a picture. And so on and so forth. So there's incident number 5. Now this is all in one house.
right.
This is all, and at the time, it's all at one end of the house. So now we fast forward. Now I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but it's kind of weird. So my grandmother, now you know old ladies, they get old, they retire, they sit down on their recliner and watch TV all day and everything, smoke cigarettes.
Like a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. So we're all out fishing on the ponds. We come back. We've been gone most all day. My grandmother's laid out on the floor, can barely move. Don't know what happened. So we rushed her to the hospital. And the doctor says she's got blood clots in both of her lungs. He says, listen, I'm going to give her this medicine. And if it doesn't start breaking them up in the next 30 minutes, start saying goodbyes. Now, what I find weird about that is she'd had no health problems. Didn't show anything. Now, blood clots do their thing. They're weird. They just kind of appeared, stroked
Yeah,
out, heart attack, whatever. But I find it weird, and always have, that that happened in that house. Because it shouldn't
yeah.
have.
When you put together all the weird shit that happened already, and then on top of that, yeah, yes, blood clots can pop up out of anywhere, and You know, they do weird shit, and there's a lot of the time no warning. But when you couple that with it being inside of a house where you've already had a lot of strange events happen and stuff like that, yeah, I can see where you draw the connection. You know.
Yeah. I still think to this day there's something in that house. I've
Yeah,
never went, huh?
I just said yeah, yeah. I'm
I've
agreeing
never
with
went.
you.
I've never went back to ask people that live there if they've had weird things happen, but
Yeah,
um, almost certain. Now,
that was in Prescott, right?
yeah. Now, I do remember just thinking about the house. There's always been rumors that we had panthers around there, but never saw any signs of them. But do remember my dad coming to me one night and say, "Hey, we heard a panther." I said, "What? How do you know you heard a panther?" We heard a lady scream. Because apparently panthers sound like ladies scream.
Yeah, so do mountain lions.
And but I ain't heard any of them down where we were at.
Have you actually heard like a panther scream?
No, but I know, like, dude, that house is freaky. So
Here you go. Can you hear it? You can't hear the video?
I hear the video, but I don't hear any panthers.
Let me see here. Trying to find a good one that'll show it. That's just calls.
I heard something growl there. That's kind of creepy.
It's very creepy. But yeah, that's a panther, mountain lion, all that.
Yeah. Um. Now fast forward, we moved. I was it's two, the start of 2009, and we moved to the house in town. And I had a couple instances, but nothing super notable. I remember one night I was laying in bed and I could have swore I saw a boy next to my bed, but he was blue.
Okay,
But
keep going.
he, he never fucked with me.
Yeah,
And that's the only time I ever saw him.
you're kind of hitting the spot with me. Keep going.
And
Or is that it on the blue boy?
I mean, that's it on the blue boy.
Oh,
I don't remember ever seeing him after that. But from time to time, I would see figures in that house.
so, thinking back in my life, you know me, I'm big into the paranormal. I love researching it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, many a times I've thought back and been like, what was the thing that got me into it? You know, and the
Mm-hmm.
farthest back I can remember, my grandparents used to live in an RV right next door to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like they owned a bunch of property, but instead of putting a house there, they just got an RV because they did a lot of traveling. So hey, we
Yeah.
want to go on vacation, hook up the RV to the truck and go. You don't
Right.
forget shit when you take your whole house.
Yeah. Right. The hell
But
with it.
I don't know if I would go on vacation with them a lot, and so I don't know if we were on vacation at the time or if we were on their property at the time. But I remember sitting in their living room watching a TV show, and it was talking about a ghost story, and it had like reenactments and stuff like that. Don't remember what show, don't remember much from the story, but I remember the woman saw the face of a boy through her window, but the boy was blue, and he just kept saying, "Help me, help me, help me." And she went outside and to see what was wrong with him,
Mm-hmm.
and there was nobody there, no footprints in the snow, nothing. And that's all I remember of it. But that's the farthest back I can remember anything like seeing anything paranormal, reading anything paranormal, anything like that.
So that's weird.
Yeah. That's why you said blue boy. I'm like, oh, hang on.
Yeah. Like I said, I would see stuff in that house from time to time. Now, apparently, my dad had known the man that lived there before us that he had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And but he never said that to us. Never said that to me.
Yeah.
And but he said he would see some weird shit in that house. I don't know, it was because he was on night shift. He was tired. What? Now I do remember I started being left home by myself because I was old enough at the time.
Yeah.
Um, that's just me. Probably my mind playing tricks on me, but I could be wrong. But I would hear shit from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, any country boy. I mean, had a 30-06,
Get the gun.
and I kept 3 rounds of that son of a bitch at all
Mm-hmm.
times.
Yep.
And I always told my dad, I was like, listen, I was like, y'all come home, you better say something.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person, I'm going to shoot you first and I'm going to ask questions later.
Yeah.
So, but I remember one night I was sleeping on the couch and I was almost sleeping. Something shook that fucking couch. Now, that being said, apparently there was a fairly strong earthquake up in Greenbrier, Arkansas, like
Yeah.
magnitude 4, but it was felt really far south for some reason.
Yeah.
And around about the same time that happened. So, I mean, that's probably what it was. Not really sure. Um, this one's interesting. So, my mother, she lived over in Carthage, Mississippi, in the old part of town, old like historic part of it. And I'm over there one night, and I go out back, and I asked her when I come back in. I said, "Hey, Mom's your house haunted?" She looked at me and was like, "Why you ask that?" And I looked her dead in the eyes, and I told her what I saw, and I'm explaining this because when I went out back, she had a red and white Dodge Durango, not Durango, Dakota,
Yep.
and on the other side of it there was a black figure standing there, just looking at me, didn't try to interact with me, just a black figure.
Oh,
And I looked at her and I asked her, I was like, this is what I saw. She's like, listen, he ain't gonna mess with you. He's friendly. He was the butler to the original people of the house. The studio out back was his house. Okay? Good enough explanation for me.
yeah.
Never had any problems out of it. And let me tell you that. And when I said this house was old, remember the old like square locks that you would see on like closet doors or something? Had a little knob you
Huh.
just turn. That's
Yeah.
how old this house was. Like early 1900s. And closets didn't make no sense, but they were little bitty. But now my most recent one is a couple years back when I helped my dad and stepmom move over to Mineral Springs. They moved into an old house over there. And I didn't say anything because my stepmom, she's Filipino. They're very superstitious type people. But in the middle room, I had a little bitty closet. But when I opened up that closet, something didn't feel right. Like there was a dark presence in it. I don't know what, but every time I opened that closet up, I didn't tend to keep it open very long. And I was waiting for my dad or stepmom to say something that my little brother had seen something in that house because I had a feeling he was going to. But I've never asked, and nobody's ever told me. But something went right in that house. Um, but go back to the house I lived in. The second house I lived in Prescott, though, where I saw the blue boy. My stepmom. Uh, well, let me fast forward here. So my dad's third wife, the one that lived us in the house outside of town, they divorced. So fast forward, I got a new stepmom,
Hmm.
and she told me that when she first come over here, this happened within like the first week or two that she lived in that house with my dad. That in the middle of the night, something grabbed her by her ankles and started dragging her out of that bed
At the house in Prescott.
in town.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Listen, I'm friendly. I'm not gonna hurt nobody. Please just leave me alone." It's like the ghost is protecting my father.
Did he
That
have
makes sense.
any like love interests or anything that passed away?
Not that I know of.
Might be something to talk to him about and see.
Well, you know I don't talk to my father anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, um, but after that happened, nothing happened to her again there
Yeah.
that I know of. Oh, Well,
Uh,
good.
so you're talking about a room that doesn't quite feel right. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother, my dad's mom, we've picked on her for years about this. Okay,
Okay.
when she moved into this house uh, in Seguin, she always told everybody with no evidence, with no proof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, always told everybody that the house was haunted because somebody was buried in her flower bed. Absolutely no evidence, nothing. That was just her story.
Okay.
And there's a room in that house. As far back as I can remember, she has called it the Forbidden Room. It sounds ominous, right?
Okay.
You want to know why she called it the Forbidden Room?
Why?
Because that's where she hid the Christmas presents. But anytime I had to go in there, even to this day, if I have to go in there, it's just a weird feeling, dude. I do not like that room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. But, funny thing, and a buddy of mine pointed this out when I told him the story. You know what's right outside the window?
What?
The flower bed.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder.
Did your grandmother kill somebody and bury them?
To me, that would be the only way she'd know somebody was buried in her flower bed.
Yeah. Now I can tell you a story that this. Oh man, I'm like, this is. I'm around 12,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm living in a little town called Emmett, Arkansas. Population like 40.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like Gleesville.
No, we're living at a Blaze W campground, and in the back there's houses.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in the old. Actually, it's the original house of the property that John put there, and there's a log cabin. Had an addition put onto it later on, but when I 14 days after my 12th birthday, my grandfather passed away. Sitting on the front porch, smoking a cigarette, reading a book, watching his fake flowers grow. Massive heart attack. So, not long
Hell
after
of a way
that,
to go.
yeah, hell of a way.
Like, sounds quick, sounds relatively painless. Like,
Well, the more messed up thing about it is I've been outside about 30 minutes before that happened.
oh, damn.
Yeah. And my grandmother was leaving for bingo. And I hear her, she called my grandfather Don for some reason. And I hear her trying to wake him up. So I run outside because I knew something wasn't right. So I was the second one out. And I knew what had happened once I saw him.
Yeah.
And so there's all that. Well, let's
My
fast
grandpa.
forward.
Oh,
Huh?
go ahead. Continue. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the story.
Yeah.
So we fast forward, and a week or two after he passed, I'm over at my aunt's next door, and it's dark outside, and I start walking back to the house. Front porch lights on, and there's a figure sitting exactly where my grandfather passed away on the front porch. Freaked me the fuck out. I didn't know what to think. And I went back to my aunt's. Come back about 30 minutes later to see if it was still there after I calmed down a little bit. And my dad said he was out there sick, but I don't know. I never saw my dad. I just saw the figure. But fresh trauma, so on and so forth. Now, the weird thing about after my grandfather passed, we were kind of close. This happened 2 or 3 times. I remember at least two that I went to sleep, he'd come to me in a dream and say, "Hey, I'm all right. Just it'll be okay." Okay. Now we fast forward about a month later, we move. My grandmother's seeing my grandfather all over the house. He's crawling in bed with her, everything. But stroke of grief. So we move to Garden, go to bed one night, and I had a dream. My grandfather shows up at our house, and he had knocked on the door. Okay? Didn't know
Mm.
who it was. I go to open up the door, and it's him. This is like, hey, he's like, listen, I'm fine. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Everything's good. And you'll be all right. I'm still here with you. That that still like I still remember that dream to this day vividly. So
So, my grandpa, my dad's
mhm,
dad, that was my best friend in the whole world. All right.
right.
He had a stroke out on his place, and he always said, he would never go to a hospital because people don't go to hospitals to get better; they go there to die.
Right.
And so he had the stroke. That's a story in and of itself. But long story short, he ended up back at his place, and then he had another stroke and ended up in the hospital,
Hmm.
like in ICU. And this was when I was going through truck driving school.
Okay.
And so every day after school, I would stop by the hospital on the way home, visit with him, you know?
Right.
Um, Thursday. Don't ask me how I remember it was a Thursday, but it was a Thursday. I leave the school and I call my dad, like I did every day. And I ask him, I'm like, hey, how how's he doing? No, he's doing a lot better. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'll be there in about 30 minutes. So I'll stop by. You know what? He's doing good. Just head on home. Get you some rest. I know you're tired. You know, come by tomorrow after you get out of school, because tomorrow's Friday. You don't have school on
Right.
Saturday. Stop by. Then you can spend more time. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Go home, do my thing, go to bed, get up the next morning, leave the house to go to school. As soon as I get on the road, my phone rings.
Mm.
It's my dad. Hey, what's up? Hey, just to let you know, your grandpa passed away yesterday, last night.
Oh.
My dad claims that he never lied to me, that he was doing better.
Right.
For the longest time, I didn't believe him. I still don't know if I do, to be honest with you. But for the longest time, I resented my dad over that. It's like, you knew he was dying, and I had one more chance to go and see him, and he told me not to. I don't resent him anymore for it, and I'll never tell my dad that I ever did, because
Well,
that's hindsight being what it is. If I was in his position, I probably would have done the same thing.
well, if he did do that, I know why he did it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I probably would have done the same thing, but at the same time, I would have liked that one more chance. You know?
I know. Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen somebody that you're really close to and they're on their deathbed,
Yeah.
and you know that's the last time you're going to see them,
I've been there when a couple of people have passed, and it's tough. It's very tough. And seeing my grandpa pass would have probably done a lot to me, you know? But
well, I mean, it's like my wife's great grandmother. We were really close to her, and my wife and her were like super close, like closest out of all the grandkids.
yeah,
And I've told you this story before. So we're over in Colorado, Glenwood Springs. So we're on the west side of the mountains, about to come through the gorge, but we're right there at the rest area. Stop to take my tan. Now, Lily was in the hospital. We knew that she had a kidney infection or something like that. But the doctor said she'd be all right. So cool, whatever. I get a phone call around 5 a.m. in the morning. It's my wife's sister, Kristen. She's like, "Hey, is Emily awake?" I said, "No, she's not. What's going on?" And I could tell she's frantic, and she doesn't call me at 6 o'clock in the morning for nothing. So I
yeah.
knew something was going on. And she says, "Lily's dying. Y'all need to get home." I was like, "Well, what do you mean Lily's dying?" She's like, "All of her organs are shutting down. Y'all need to get home now."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, well, let me uh let me wake Emily up. I'll tell her what's going on, everything." So I wake my wife up, let her know, "Hey, this is what's going on with Lily." Of course, she starts freaking out, crying hysterically. She calls her sister, get like just to make sure my stomach was right. And so I started calling Warner. I'm like, "Guys, listen, like I gotta go home, like now. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. Not tomorrow, not next week. Don't route me that way. Like I need a rental car to go to the house."
Now, I will say my experience with Warner dealing with stuff like that, they, at least in my case, they took care of me. You
Yeah.
know?
And I said, "Hey, my clock's up in an hour. Once my clock's up, I'm heading east toward Denver." He's like, "All right, well, give me an hour. I'll let you know what's going on. I'll start working on some things." Okay. Our rolls around. He's like, "Listen." He's like, "We're splitting the load off of you at Denver at the terminal, and then we're gonna have you a rental car to be picked up. We're gonna Uber you from the terminal to the airport to get the car, and you'll just come back, and everything works for me. Cool."
Yeah.
So we get this is evening time. Like my wife's all upset. She's backing her truck up to take what we need and stuff for the week, or however long we're going to be there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And we get there. I drop my trailer, pull my truck to the parking. Get in the Uber, go to the airport, get the rental car. They put us in a Kia Sportage. First time I ever had dealing with a Kia Sportage. Oh man,
Rough car.
killed my back.
Oh,
Absolutely
heck.
murdered my back. But
At least it
we
wasn't a
drive
twerking Toyota.
right. So we drive completely overnight from Denver to Conway, Arkansas. Is where she was at. They transferred her out, and I hadn't hardly had any sleep. And where I was getting sleep was like 30 minutes here, hour there, maybe 2 hours at most. It was like back and forth, just micro sleeps. I remember having to stop in Dakota, Oklahoma at the Loves there and going to sleep because I started falling asleep behind the wheel. And I remember Emily waking me up. But we got there to the hospital, and poor Lily, she's all hooked up to these machines and stuff. And she had it's a genetic disease. It's called hemochromatosis, if I remember correctly. It's
Mm-hmm.
where her body's stored way too much iron, and it's hereditary. But I found out about this not too long ago too, and it's something that if you have Irish descent, our bodies developed to suck all the iron out of everything that we ate
Mm-hmm.
because apparently the Irish didn't have very high or didn't have access to like red meat and stuff like that a
Yeah.
whole lot. So we get there, she's all swollen up, jaundice. She's in bad shape, but she's keeping her spirits up best she could because she knew the time she had was limited.
You all right?
Oh yeah. So we say our goodbyes and stuff. And we leave, knowing that we wouldn't see her again. So uh, at that point, we've been looking for a house, and my wife had been looking at this house over at the lake here in Bismarck, where we live at now. And I was like, hey, you know what? Let me call the realtor. Just go there and look at that house.
While you're in the area.
Yeah, we're just so that we can kind of keep our mind off all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now this is day 2 of me being up. So, I mean, I'm tired, wore out, and while we were waiting on the realtor to get back with us, our grandmother passed away, which we knew was coming. So, realtor gets back with us that afternoon, and we're like, hey, let's go look at the house. She's like, yeah, we go over here at this time. Cool. We go there and we look at the house. Sounds something that we wanted after we looked at it. But I told the realtor, I was like, listen, this is what we're doing. It's like I got about 2 months before I'm 2 years in, and we're going to apply for a house loan then, or at least an approval. She's like, well, listen, it's like I've got this lady that could possibly get you done early. It's like you've been in some company, so and so. And I was like, okay. It's like, can I have her number so I can call her more? She's like, here's the number. Call her, tell her. So Call the lady, give her all my information. Within an hour, we're approved for house loan. Now, what I find funny about this, I think it was Lily's party gift to us, is that she knew that we were looking for a house. So she made sure that we had one.
Right.
So,
Well,
huh?
so I forget what year it was, but one summer when I was younger, we took a trip to the coast with my grandma, my dad's mom,
Uh huh.
my uncle, their kids, and then my mom, my dad, my sister. We all got a condo together with multiple rooms and stuff like that. And my great grandpa, he had been sick with lung cancer for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I wasn't that close to him. But as I got older, I started, talking to him more and stuff like that. Would never say I was, super close to him, but that relationship was building, you know.
Right.
And so we had a day or two left down there, and we get a call, hey, this is it. You got to, if you want to see him one more time, you got to get back here. And it was like a 2.5, 3 hour drive from the coast.
Mm-hmm.
But we packed all our shit and hopped in the truck and started heading back. And we pulled up right behind the coroner.
Mm.
Like, that's how much we missed it by.
That's right.
Just like, we're coming down the road, coroner van coming down the road, coroner turns in, we turn in.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. But the very next night, my great grandma, and she'll tell this story to you today. The very next night, she laid down in bed to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
She felt him lay down behind her and wrap his arm around her. And that was it. Never saw it. She never saw him or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of nights after that, me and my sister, we stayed up late and we were watching TV, turned the
Mm-hmm.
TV off, and my sister was going to sleep on the floor. I was sleeping on the couch. Such a good big brother made my little sister sleep on the floor.
Right. Terrible.
And so the TV, the living room, we had two living rooms in this house, okay?
Yeah.
And they were divided. And there was a walkway over here and a walkway over here, okay?
Yeah.
And in between was the TV. And I remember waking up, and on the walkway to my right, which directly, like if you walk through that walkway and kept walking straight, you would end up in my parents' room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I remember kind of opening my eyes, and I could just see the outline of this figure standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, I want to preface this by saying I do not, at this moment, believe that this was my great grandpa.
Uh-huh.
I think this was something pretending to be my great grandpa. But as my eyes kind of adjusted, it looked like him.
Okay.
And this is the reason I don't think it was actually him. He looked pissed.
Oh.
Like, I'm going to rip your head off of your shoulders, pissed. My great grandpa never even raised his voice. I never even saw him raise his voice.
Mm.
He was just the kind of person like, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Let's fix it. You know,
Yeah.
just very go with the flow, whatever. And I looked down and I saw my sister laying there. I'm like, okay, she's still asleep. Looked back up, it was gone. Okay. So I did what any rational person would do at that moment. I went back to sleep. Next day, we're riding in the car. And my mom's in the front seat. Me and my sister are in the back seat. And just out of nowhere, my sister just starts bawling her eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm thinking she's about to fucking tell my mom I hit her or something, because she used to do that shit all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And my mom's like, what? And my sister just, I saw Opie last night. He was standing next to the TV.
Oh.
I didn't say a word to her about what I saw. I didn't say a word to anybody up until that point about what I saw. I had written it off as, oh, I was dreaming, you know?
Right.
I wasn't fucking dreaming, apparently.
Apparently not.
But,
It's fucking weird.
but like I said, I don't believe that that was him.
No, that sounds like some that is trying to mess with y'all.
But we had a lot of weird things happen in that house, too. As a matter of fact, that's the house that's on the same road as the house I'm living in right now.
Oh,
It's like 2 minutes down the road from where I'm at right now.
imagine that.
Uh-huh.
So having that the house that you live in now is all haunted,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yet I want to come down there and hang out, and I know I'm gonna see some shit.
So, you ever hear of a DR60?
No.
It's a Panasonic voice recorder from the 90s. Okay. It's
Okay.
voice activated. All right.
Okay.
When we do the Halloween episode, there's a clip that was recorded on a DR60 that I want to play for everybody on the episode.
At your house?
I mean, I'm going to be in my house. If you come down, you can be in the house with me, but I'm going to play the recording.
Yeah. And
The
I'm.
first time I heard the recording, I was in the
Uh-huh.
truck at work at the job I'm at now, and
Uh-huh.
it was still very early. It was dark outside still. I had to pull the truck off to the side of the road because I just couldn't shake the feeling I wasn't alone in that cab. And
Mm.
I had to sit there until the recording was done playing.
Where did you get this recording?
It's on YouTube. You can find it. I'll send you the link if you want it.
Oh hell no!
But
Listen, I've spent most of my adult life and my later teenage years trying to block this shit out.
well, okay. So the DR60 got discontinued. And Panasonic will tell you, oh, it was because sales were bad. If you look at the documents, sales were fucking sky high. It was one of their best selling products. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also look into like the history of the DR60, people were sending them back to Panasonic, saying that theirs was broken because it kept recording somebody screaming, and nobody was screaming. Panasonic would take the recorder apart, send it back to them with a letter saying, "We can't find anything wrong with your recorder."
That's weird.
But like I said, it's voice activated. Well, you can still find those recorders. They go for about $3,500 on eBay.
Jeez.
Somebody took one apart, figured out all the components, and recreated it into an app on the phone.
Oh,
I have the app.
is it that one that you and your buddy were using that one night?
No. I have the app. I did a little test run with it in my house. I've got something. Don't know what it was, but there's a sound on there. You can hear it. I was out of the room for about 5 minutes. It should have only recorded me talking at the beginning, putting it down, leaving the room, and then me coming back into the room because it's voice activated.
Oh.
There's something there. It sounds like wind.
Yeah.
I left it in my room. AC unit, the window unit was off, and the fan was turned off.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yep. But, well, you want to call it, brother? It's getting late.
Yeah, and I got 14% on my phone.
Yeah, I'm down to 24% on the iPad. So,
But
all righty, brother. Well, I'm gonna hit end here. So, appreciate you filling in again, Super Sub.
hey, no me. I'm the backup. I'm the best backup there was, really.
I'm gonna start calling you. What was that dude's name? Fitzpatrick. The the Super Sub quarterback. I mean, you got the beard for it.
Dude, listen. I'm not Fitzpatrick. I'm a lot better than Fitzpatrick. A lot better looking than Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. But all right, Bubba. Appreciate you.
Buddy. Later.
We'll do it again.
Underneath the stars, we shared a sweet embrace. Your laughter ringing clear in this quiet place. With the sound of the steel guitar playing soft and slow. In a world where time stands still, I hope you always know. Hold me close, let the music play. So I'll sing the air beneath the midnight sky. With the pedal steel, it's you and I. In this country dream, forever we'll stay. With you in my heart, love will light our way. Memories of dancing in the moonlight glow. Your arms wrapped around me like a warm, gentle flow. With every note that's played, my heart starts to soar. In this 90s country love, I couldn't ask for more. Love's a song that never fades, so I'll sing here beneath the midnight sky. With the pedal steel, it's you and I. In this country dream, forever we'll stay. With you in my heart, love will light our way. So take my hand and never let go. In this country, love will always grow. So I'll sing to you beneath the midnight sky. With the pedal steel, it's you and I. In this country dream, forever we'll stay. With you in my heart, love will light our way. So take my hand and never let go. In this country, love will always grow.